I just want to do a little bit of a quickie here. This is an article from Evie Magazine. This is a publication that I support just because it's one that has a conservative mindset that is trying to restore the balance, if you will. The destruction, since the destruction wrought by the various waves of feminism. Now, I know some people will feel ambivalently about that, or some people will be outright hostile to that. But I do think returning to tradition would be a good thing, and I support anyone, men and women, who believe that way. With that said, I want to look at this article with a somewhat critical eye. Again, with it understood that this publication. This is not Cosmo. This is not some awful, crappy, horrible. This is not Teen Vogue. How to have anal sex at age 12. Or anything, or Salon. Pedophilia is just a misunderstood sexual orientation. Okay, so we've got to draw a distinction. Nevertheless, this article, this is a magazine written for women, specifically younger women. These are the best ways to meet a guy, statistically speaking. Okay, so I want to just want to comment a little bit on this. It sometimes feels impossible to meet a guy, doesn't it? Or at least a really good guy. Italicized, really good guy. It's easy enough to meet a guy at a bar who's itching to take a girl home after buying her a drink or two. It's simple to download a dating app and agree to meet up with the very first guy who offers us a hit of attention. It's not difficult to hop on social media and reply to the latest guy to slide into our DMs. I laugh because it's like, oh yeah, totally can understand all. I mean, as far as average looking men of the world, we totally can relate to that. Yeah, I mean, it's easy enough to let's switch this around. let's just switch it around. It feels impossible to meet a girl, doesn't it? Or at least a really good girl. It's easy enough to find a girl at a bar who's itching to take a guy home, or to let a guy take her home after you buy her a drink or two. It's simple to download a dating app and agree to meet up with the very first girl who offers us the hint of attention. It's not difficult to hop on social media and reply to the latest girl to slide into our DMs. Oh my gosh. I mean, it has to be remarked right here, the difference between the lived experience of the typical female existing today and the typical male existing today. This shows that if you're female, it's not hard to get male attention if you want it. And this is written in a way to be relatable. It's like, yeah, we all know, you can go to a bar and pick up a guy easily, and download a dating app and instantly have somebody who wants to meet up with you, and so forth. But then it goes on. But to meet a worthwhile, moral, good guy, it takes a little more time and effort. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, it probably does take a little more time. You probably do have to be discerning. Probably the guy who wants to just jump your bones at the bar, he might not be a worthwhile, moral, good guy. That's true. That's true enough. And yet, there are guys out there who as long as you meet certain criteria, as long as you're not, say, obese, as long as you're somebody of good moral character yourself, as long as you have, as long as you're not a psycho. These are not, we don't, the standards men have are not that high, really. You don't have to, you absolutely don't have to be gorgeous. Remember, we considered, you don't have to be gorgeous, you can be average in just about every way, looks-wise, and still, a guy is going to accept you. A lot of guys, most guys will accept you. Not the ones you're looking for, maybe. And the ones you're looking for, are they really the worthwhile, moral, good guys? Well, maybe those are the kind of guys you think you should want. But remember the OkCupid, what was it? Survey, which showed that, and I posted this in a previous video that's gotten deleted, but you can find this anywhere. If you look up OkCupid, male attractiveness versus female attractiveness, I'm sure you can still find it somewhere, even though I know they've probably hidden it, just like they try to hide all dangerous truths out there, algorithmically speaking, but you still can find it if you diligently look for it. And the truth is that women have today have way higher standards, and that 90% of the men that they see on OkCupid they think are below, at least below average, or maybe even worse than below average. Whereas with men, it's just sort of like, it's more like, instead of being this line of, we don't like them until it gets to the highest, the best looking guys, and suddenly it goes up there. With men, it's more of a bell-shaped curve. It's like, this one, from the ones who look, truly heinous or whatever. And I'm not saying that looks should matter that much, but they do matter somewhat. First impressions are real and so forth. Anyway, with men, it's more, it's more reasonable. It's more like, okay, there's this number who are below average. Most of them are average, and then you go up a little more of the, when it gets to the above average ones. So anyhow, to meet a worthwhile, moral, good guy, I think it's good to pursue a worthwhile, moral, good guy. But the question is, are modern women, even the kind of women who read Evie magazine, the ones who are ostensibly anti-SJW, anti-destructive third, fourth wave, blue-haired harpy feminism, are even they really on the lookout for worthwhile, moral, good guys, or have they been? And I think that a lot of my audience would be inclined to be cynical about this, that perhaps even they have been indoctrinated into this hypergamic type of perspective. This type of perspective that you're always trying to marry up or date up. And look, if we're going to restore monogamy, which is the most reasonable, the most compassionate, the most the most conscientious system of courtship that there is. Monogamy, trained monogamy, or enforced monogamy, to put it, the way that Dr. Peterson put it, enforced in the sense not that it's pushed at the barrel of a gun, but just that there are certain social pressures that are built in to shame those who are not faithful to their spouses, to shame those who are who do not prize fidelity, both male and female. Anyhow, restoring monogamy, I think, it should be our goal. It should be our task. But articles like this, they indicate that the things under the current dispensation are very different for women than they are for men. Now, does this mean that men are more miserable than women? No, I don't think that's the case at all. I think that there's plenty of misery to go around, because I don't think that women are happy under the current dispensation, where they're told just to behave like men and do whatever they want and not feel bad about having tons of conquests, which all tend to be, of course, with the top 20%, 10% of the male side of things, socially status speaking. I don't think that brings about happiness in women either. So I'm not approaching this from a women have it so easy kind of perspective, except to say that that these two paragraphs, if you turn around the pronouns and make every he into she, and every she into he, and every her into him, and every him into her, most guys out there, accepting the ones who are really good looking, really rich, and really, highly on the top of the food chain, highly desirable, they're just gonna say, what? That's the, they're in your dreams, mate. Would a typical man have any kind of experience that's, day-to-day experience that's anything comparable to what's said here? So this article admits that it's not hard to find men, but then it says, but it's hard to find a worthwhile, moral, good guy. Is it really that hard? I question that. Is it really that hard to find a worthwhile, moral, good guy? Or is it just hard to find a worthwhile, moral, good guy who does it for you? Is it hard to find a worthwhile, moral, good guy who turns you on and makes you want to husband him up? I think I say this without malice. I say this without trying to foster a kind of any kind of continued malice between the sexes, because I think we've had enough of that, and I would like for there to be a truce. But still, nevertheless, I think we have to be. I think there's a lack of intellectual honesty sometimes. And I think this article helps to, unfortunately, helps to expose that. Now, it goes on to say some of the best places to meet women. To meet men if you're a woman. Don't totally rule out apps. and let's see, what else does it say? Meet them through work, meet them through doing something you love. I mean, my thing is, it's just it's not that hard to find decent, worthwhile, moral men. And I'm not saying you have to take somebody as a husband if he doesn't do it for you. But I am saying, be honest with yourself. That's what I am saying here. And I think that there's something in this article that while I think this article and this publication, EV Magazine, is trying to steer this terrible, wretched, awful, disgusting, putrid culture, trying to steer it in the right direction, and for that I applaud it and I wish it well. But I think these questions do need to be addressed. So what do you think? Let me know. Leave your comments below, and I will link to this article so you can read it in its entirety. Thanks for watching. My name is Andy Nowicki. Check out my work at altrightnovelist.com and find my latest book, The Insurrectionist, at terrorhousepress.com.